Alright guys, I have something really cool to show you. As we all know, Walrus Audio has come out with the Canvas D.I line isolator. This is the stereo model. They also have a mono as well. And this essentially translates your 1/4 inch unbalanced output from your guitar or pedals into a balanced XLR output that goes great for recording or sending something in front of house. And making sure that signal is loud and clean. So, it looks like Walrus Audio is making the Canvas family even bigger. Let's see what we got. Alright, here we go. Introducing the Canvas reamp. This thing is so cool. So here's the DI that we all know and love, and then here is the new Canvas reamp. So, essentially, a reamp box is similar to a DI, but it kind of does the opposite of what a DI does. So like I mentioned earlier, the DI or line isolator translates your 1/4 inch unbalanced to XLR balanced outputs. And the reamp box actually does the opposite. So this translates a balanced 1/4 inch or XLR input and essentially makes it unbalanced and ready to go into pedals, effects, or even into another amp, which hence the name reamp. So this is a great studio tool if you want to record guitars direct into your interface and into your DAW, and then maybe you want to send it out into other effects or into amplifiers later, right? Like you have an idea, you want to record it now, or you want to send it to someone else, and a producer will have this and they'll go ahead and run it through their, chain of effects or amps, whatever. So like the Canvas D.I line isolator, this is a passive box with a custom wound transformer, which is really cool. It doesn't need to be powered. You have a ground lift in case you're running into any noise, mute button, phase button, which is great if you're getting any phasing issues, and a really cool high pass filter. Just click this button and it'll relieve a lot of that low end presence. You also have your volume, your XLR in, your 1/4 inch in, and your 1/4 inch out. So the way this works is you record directly into an interface dry, right? No amp, no pedals. You record whatever idea you want, and then it comes out of your interface and then into the Canvas reamp via XLR input or 1/4 inch input. Then it goes out into your amplifier or effects or whatever you want to go through. And the cool thing is you can re-record that signal through your amp with a microphone or through effects or pedals, and go right back into your interface, and now you have affected or an amplified signal. So like I said, this is pretty niche. It's more for a studio kind of environment. But in theory, now that I'm thinking about it, if you go from your pedals into the Canvas D.I, send that XLR out, you can run that XLR signal for 100 feet or even more, right? Because the XLR signal is going to retain all that information and quality, and you can send that line all the way to your Canvas reamp and translate that to a 1/4 inch unbalanced output right into an amp in your amp room or an ISO box, wherever that thing is. That's actually something I would love to try and see if that would work, but if you guys check it out too, let me know. That's a pretty cool theory. So let's record some dry guitars right into the interface and then send it out here. I'll do it through an amp, and then I'll do it right through pedals, direct in, and show you how this thing works. Let's do it. Alright, so here I'm in Logic. I've already pre-recorded a direct guitar signal. I added a drum loop and a vocal track. So let's check out how that guitar signal was. Great, and here's the drum loop. It's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna throw some effects onto this later. And of course, the vocal track. I'm just afraid of what it takes to be here now. So as you can hear, they're all pretty dry, except for the drum loop, kind of has effects already, but I'm going to go ahead and record the direct guitar out of my jazz chorus, my Roland Jazz Chorus JC22. So I'm going to have it left and right, and I'm going to throw on some reverb from the amp and the onboard stereo chorus effect, which is why I have 2 tracks. I'll pen it left and right, and this is what it sounds like. There's the reverb, and here's the luscious chorus. So there I have the reamped and mic recorded JC22 signal. I'm going to add another track to reamp that dry signal into the Walrus Audio Fable and ACS1 amp and cab simulator. I'll use another track to reamp the drums through the Walrus Audio Melee, which is a distortion and reverb pedal. And finally, I'll reamp the vocals into the Walrus Audio Lore, which is going to add a bunch of reverb and high octave presence into that mix. Alright, here's the dry signal into the ACS1 and the Fable. I have the mix on the Fable turned all the way because I'll blend this with the dry signal. And here's the drum track into the Melee. There's some distortion. Other side there's reverb. And then you can blend the two. And finally, here are the vocals through the lore. I'm just afraid of what it takes to be. There's no Alright, now here's how everything sounds through the Canvas reamp and all of these effects. I'm just afraid.